My name is Cassidy Goldsmith, aged 55, and I am the CEO of Fredbear and Friends here in Albany. Nope. Dead and proud of it, in a sense. June 26th, 1985. It was my birthday party that day. I wasn't the first to be killed. The coffin he chose for me was the worst of the group. William Morris Afton. I think it's common knowledge at this point he's the Rabbit Man, but I will say it to the day I fade. Working as an archivist of these old hunks of junk, I've enjoyed learning more beyond the whole tragedy bit of its history. And doubly fun, because I can use my uncoverings of different other scandals in Fazbear walls as ammo in case they ever try to come after us again. The mod heavily exaggerated what happened that night, and actually, I don't hold that record in the slightest. It was probably faster out there, as well as the fact I never submitted it. Plus, I wouldn't really qualify anyway since it was me in the suit pushing it to sprint rather than the suit itself being pushed to those speeds. Impartial, to be honest. Sure, it's connected to him, but at the same time, it wasn't the suit directly that killed me. More than you'd expect. Let's see, we got the other four of the ones that went missing: Charlie, Liz, and her family, Muriel Trevenart, long story on her that isn't really related to my work, but it's a nice Oregon ghost story, and my daughter Spooky. I love my daughter so much. That's an alias I haven't heard in years. But to answer your question, Dave Miller was William using an alias. We took care of him. -31. I don't get why this was a question in this interview, though. At the moment, yes. Myself and the others of at least our group of 5 like to possess our suits to do various things. Mainly sometimes heavy lifting, and makes maintenance on them easy because we're in the suits. Yes, I am happily married to my beloved wife, Andrea, and we will have been married for 4 years this Christmas. We both chose Christmas Day to get married since it was very symbolic to both of us. And fun fact, I actually proposed to her. Yep, I know Evan. Chill guy now that he's back. Sort of the mellow one of the 3 Afton kids. Not much gets under his skin. Aside from the obvious fact that I was murdered, I was actually stabbed through the heart, and my dying body was shoved into the then still spring-locked equipped, decommissioned Fredbear animatronic. Obviously the lock snapped, and gave me the scars I have today all over my body. Some people say that in terms of my anger, the most likely reason of all may very well be that my heart is spring-locked. I can't even beat it all, but they'd be surprised. I actually adore them. They're scary, they're entertaining, and most of all, they tell the true story. How it was, how it's been, and all that. It also gave many people jobs they adore, so anything that does that, I embrace. And hell, I even stole inspiration from mechanics in Cassidy's Choice. Just goes to show we're tightly knit. Albany, Oregon. Right next to my restaurant in a lovely 2-story home on the northeast end of the city. Close to the railroad tracks in the Portland Western Yard. Fun fact about my home. My favorite detail of it when we were designing it is we connected the restaurant and the residence together via a small service hallway. Beats having to walk over there in soaking rain sometimes. Charlie, yeah, I know her. Her dad? Not so much. From what I know, he's still up above, but Charlie is still down here with us since she came back with all of us as a group. Albeit with a little icy gimmick tied to her name now. Still, at one point we actually had this kind of grudge match with each other. No, that's a lie. I was the only one with a grudge. Basically, she kept us hiding in parts and service in the 86 to 87 location. And I got so fed up with it, I basically formed a revolution with the other ghosts and kept her locked in Boulder Box, and eventually the safe room for all that time. We both went on a search of Murray's costume manor recently, though, and that kind of repaired the bond since we both have a new common enemy. And it's been, what, about 40 years since I died and that location was open? It was time we buried the hatchet. Ralph. No, not really. I didn't know him. Most I knew of him was the time he worked the night shift at the 3rd Freddy's. And, us killing him. Whoops. Of course, in pop culture, nothing's sacred, as they say. And he kinda got turned into the character of the phone guy. Hell, people still refer to people who provide instructional messages over the phone as phone guys and phone gals. It's one of the strangest things that's spawned from the fame. Nope, not anytime soon at least. But I can say that shattering worldviews is something that I have done many times. Same with my partner. Just goes to show that seeing is believing. Am I right?